I think if you want to do some yoga, trying to find the time's really difficult. So I'm going to do a 30-minute practice, which hopefully you can find that amount of time in a day to do some yoga. And this practice is going to incorporate flexion extension of the spine, some hip openers, a little bit of core, and then some long stretches. So it's sort of a condensed, if you like, 1 hour class that I would teach normally. This one's going to start from the ground, going to start in a child pose. So make your way down onto your mat comfortably, take the knees out to the edges of the mat, and then walk the hands forwards. Gently sit back on towards your heels. You can flatten your feet on the floor here and just take a couple of breaths here. Try to feel your body release with the gravity into the floor, and try to stretch your back as well. So drawing back on your hips, your sit bones to find that space in your spine. And then breathe in nice, slow, soft breath, just to allow a couple of moments for grounding, for bringing your awareness, your attention, your focus, your mind into the practice of yoga. If anything's troubling you, this is a time to let it go and switch that narrative off in your mind and just feel how you feel in your body. Okay, and then coming out of child pose, we come into a tabletop, bring the knees hip width apart, bring the hands so they're under the shoulders, and work the spine now. So as you breathe in, come into the floor, head lift, bum goes up. As you breathe out, round your back. These cat-cows are super good first thing in the morning, but they're good any time of the day to get that spinal movement. And check in with your back, just see if there's any tightness anywhere in your back. Options you've got here is as you breathe in, tummy goes down, head lifts. You can turn your elbow creases forwards, externally rotating your shoulders. And as you breathe out and round your back, pull your belly button in, you can turn your elbow creases towards each other. So your scapula and moving around the sides of the ribs. You can do that, okay? Just a few of these just to feel that sensation of movement through the spine. And then sit back into child pose with the knees hip width apart. Slow breath in. As you come up onto your knees, continue that breath in, float the right hand up to the side of the head, and the left leg lifts, point to the toes, point to the fingers, and hold here. When you're here, stretch your fingers as far forward as you can. You really feel that stretch through the side of the body, and stretch your leg back, your toes back as far as you can. Hold and breathe a couple of breaths. And come back down, and then sit back into child to stretch your back. And next breath in, come upwards again, and on the other side. So the left hand floats up, the arm to the side of the head, the right leg lifts, pointing the toes, and really reaching forwards with your left hand, really drawing back with your right toes, feeling that whole engagement of the body, feeling the core engage as well to hold the body in this position. Breathing gently, always breathing gently in some of these static holds, and then slowly come back into child. And then come up onto your knees, tuck your toes in, sit back towards your raised heels, really press evenly into your hands, and then drive down through your feet as you lift your bum up in the air, downward dog, straighten the legs and pedal through the legs here, bending one knee, pushing the opposite heel into the floor, looking back at your ankles, feeling that stretch, and then lift both heels up, bend the knees, stretch through the toes, and send the heels down, downward dog. Slow breath in, come into a plank high press up position, pulling your core muscles in by squeezing your tummy button into your spine. Keep that engagement, lower your pelvis to the floor, lift the top of your head up as you draw your shoulders backwards. Okay, this is a high upward dog. It's really good for your back. And then slowly lift the bum up, come back downward dog. We'll do this a couple of times. So slow breath into plank, squeeze your core muscles, lower the pelvis down, lift the head up, draw the shoulders backwards, lifting up through the top of the head. And a breath out, round in the back, up, downward dog. And one more. So slowly come forwards. And then again, pull your core in. Feel that support in your lumbar spine as you lift the top of the head up, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. A really good position for your body to stretch your body and come all the way back. Okay, bend your knees, and with your toe on your toes, walk slowly to the top of the mat. Come to a bent knee forward bend. So nice and softness in the knees. Grab hold of opposite elbows with opposite hands and have a ragdoll moment here. Just rock from side to side. And this is really about using your forearms as almost like a pendulum to stretch through your shoulders, release your shoulders. Engage your core muscles, pull your tummy button in. Let your arms dangle down in front of you and keep your chin tucked in as you roll slowly up to a standing position, rolling the shoulders back as you arrive in mountain. Draw the arms up above you, palms come together, and then reach up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, bend the knees, float your hands down to your shins. As you breathe in, straighten the legs, lift the chest up, half lift. When you're ready to breathe out, bend the knees, hands to the floor, walk the feet to the back of the mat. And as you breathe in, bring the shoulders forwards into plank. As you breathe out, come to the ground. As you breathe in, chest lifts into cobra, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, lifting up through the top of the head. As you breathe out, release to the ground, tuck your toes in. As you breathe in, push up into plank or push up onto your knees if you prefer. As you breathe out, back to downward dog. As you breathe in, lift your left leg as high as you can, three-legged dog, bending the knee and taking the knee up towards the ceiling, wherever you are. As you breathe out, bring that left knee across the body to your right elbow, as far as close as you can go. As you breathe in, lift that left leg as high as you can. Big, big lift here. And as you breathe out, that left foot comes to the floor. Anytime you want to take some time out, you can do so. With the breath in, the right leg lifts nice and high. Hip open and bending the knee, lifting the knee out to the side and up as high as you can. As you breathe out, bring that right knee across to your left elbow, squeezing it forwards as much as you can. As you breathe in, lift up three-legged dog, go for height again. As you breathe out, that foot comes to the floor. Look up between the hands, bend the knees and walk on your toes slowly to the top of the mat. And then drop the bum down, sweep the hands forwards and up into chair pose, reaching up, looking up between the hands, holding here, firing up those quadriceps. And then slowly straighten the legs. Breath in here, exhale, straight leg forward bend. Hands to shins on a breath in, lift up, chest lifts, half lift. Bend the knees, hands to the floor. Step the right foot to the back of the mat, drop the right knee, and inhale, slowly come up, crescent moon lunge, lifting the hands up nice and high. As you breathe out, bend through that leading knee as you lean into the lunge. And take a couple of slow, steady breaths here. Breath in and then slowly breathe out, take the hands down to the floor. When they land on the floor, lift your right knee off the floor, step back downward dog. Inhale through to a plank, exhale to the ground. Inhale, cobra. So chest lifts, lift up through the top of the head, shoulders come away from the ears. Breath out to the floor. Breath in, tuck your toes in, push up into plank. And breath out, downward dog. And dropping your right knee to the floor, step the left foot between the hands. And then slowly come up to a crescent moon lunge on this side, drawing the arms up nice and high. Take a breath in when you reach up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, bend that leading knee as you lean into the lunge, feeling that stretch through the hip flexors. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Breath in and then breath out. Float the hands down to the floor. Tucking your back toes in, lift the back knee off the floor, step to the top of the mat into your chair position. So drop the bum down, sweep the hands forwards and up. Hold in this chair position. Great for your quadriceps, chair position. Really build strength up in your quads. Build the strength up in your knee joints. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, take the hands down behind you like airplane wings. Swing them up and then lift onto your toes here. So lifting the heels up, finding that balance again. They're really working through the legs now and the hips. And then dropping your heels to the floor. Inhale back to chair. And then exhale, hands down to your shins. And inhale, straighten your legs, half lift. As you lean forwards on the front of your feet, feel that nice stretch through the hamstrings, softening the kneecaps. And then bending the knees, let the arms dangle, pull your tummy button in, roll up to mountain. Rolling the shoulders back, arriving at mountain, lift hands, both hands up nice and wide. Lean into your left foot, lifting the right foot up. And you can take that right foot out to the side, that right knee out to the side. Counterbalance, taking your opposite hand in the opposite direction. So you almost counterbalance. You can maybe take some ankle rotations here. Just checking in with your balance. And then come back to center. If you want to stay in center and standing stuff, that's okay. And then drop the hands to the floor. Inhale the hands up nice and wide again. And then lean into the other foot as you lift the knee up about waist height. And if you want, you can take that knee out to the side. Counterbalancing that knee going out to one side with the arm in the opposite direction. And then circling, rotating that ankle. Come back to center. Standing star and float the hands down, foot to the floor. Inhale the hands up nice and high. Palms come together. Now lean into your left foot, bend your right knee, and let's step the right foot to the back of the mat. Take your time to get into this high lunge position. Make sure your left knee points towards your left toes, and you want your knee to be behind your ankle, so not in front, and lifting up that back knee as well. Put your tummy button in and draw the arms up nice and high. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, bend both knees or bend your hips, lunge dip. Breath in, lift up nice and high. And then cactus the arms here. As you draw the shoulders backwards, try to pull your solar plexus, your upper core, into your rib crest. Use those muscles here. It's really good strengthening of your core whilst you're really building up strength in your hips. Take a breath in here with the hands up. Now I'm going to transition to warrior two. So stay looking forwards, ground your back heel and turn in slightly and float the arms down so that they are shoulder height. Soften the shoulders, looking straight through the middle finger of your leading hand. Okay, and then roll the whole of the leading arm up and lean back as you reach up for reverse warrior. Stretching as high as you can, really feeling that stretch through the front of the body. And breathe out. Come back to warrior two. Rest your forearm on your thigh. Turn and look back at your hand behind, arm behind. Roll it so the palm is up and bring it over the top, side angle. This is really about opening through the sides of the body and breathing into the space as the ribs expand. So using that opportunity as you open the body to fill it with your lungs, with your breath. And then we'll take about 2 or 3 breaths in these postures. Slowly come all the way back to warrior two where we started. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift your back heel and slowly windmill the hands down to frame that front foot. As you come slowly down, nice and slowly with control, when the hands land on the floor, we're going to step that left leg, that front leg up all the way back up, three-legged dog. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, foot to the floor. Inhale through to plank. Exhale to the ground. Inhale, cobra, high cobra. If you lift the front of the pelvis off the floor, breathe out to the floor. Tuck your toes in, breathe into plank. And breathe out, downward dog. Slow, soft breath here. Going a little bit deeper into the postures as the body starts to loosen, to stretch. The hips, the joints start to open up. Look up between the hands. You can bend your knees. You can walk to the top of the mat. But try to take a little jump if you want. So bend your knees, take your bum backwards and flick with your toes. A little jump to arrive at a bent knee forward bend. Wherever you are, pull your tummy button in, let your arms dangle. Slowly roll to standing. Rolling the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the hands up nice and high. Exhale the hands down on your chest. Lean a little bit heavier into your right foot and then lifting the left foot up. And then coming all the way back to a lunge here. So taking that left foot to the back of the mat, let it land on the front of the foot. Just checking your foundation, your grounding, your lunge, making sure your right knee is behind your ankle. It's pointing over the toes. Reach the hands up. Take a breath in here, high lunge. As you breathe out, a lunge dip. And breathe in, lift up. And then cactus the arms. Again, pulling the solar plexus up into the rib crest as you feel that engagement of your upper core muscles. Holding, breathing, feeling strong in this posture. And then breath in, lift both hands up. Stay looking forward, ground the back heel, and you come in a little bit and then float the arms down, warrior two. As you arrive in warrior two, just feel the ground beneath you. Really stretch your toes here, good grounding. And then bring your arms in line, soften the shoulders, looking square through the middle finger of the leading hand. Occasionally checking back to see where the hand behind you is, the arm. It might be down here, it might be up here. Just check in with yourself. Roll the whole of your leading arm upwards, and then lean backwards, reach up, creating that space in your body. So you breathe into that space. Big breath, really stretching the muscles, stretching the skin, superficial layers of the skin. Again, 2 or 3 soft breaths here, all the way back. Side angle, it's almost like a reach forwards, and your forearm on the thigh. Then turn and look back as you then rotate your rear arm upwards, bring it over the top. Feeling that really nice, delightful stretch across the side of the body here. Big stretch. Looking up at that hand if you want. Feeling the ground beneath you. And then slowly come all the way back to warrior two. Pressing through your feet to find the position, look through the middle finger of your front hand. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, lift that back heel and windmill slowly the arms down to the floor. So they're framing that front foot. When they land on the floor, we take that right leg all the way back up, three-legged dog. Go for height, deep breath in, breath out, foot comes to the floor. Inhale through to plank. Exhale to the ground. And then inhale, cobra, high cobra, upward dog. Gentle back bend. Breath out to the floor. Tucking the toes in, push up into plank and breathe out, downward dog. Drop your right knee to the floor, ground your back left heel and sweep your left arm backwards, upwards, forwards. And then as you reach forward to that left hand, lean, press into the floor with your right hand as you float the left foot off of the floor. There's an option here if you want to reach back and get a quad stretch, opening through the hip as you draw the heel close to the glute. You might have the balance. If it's a bit wobbly, don't worry too much. Wherever you are in this posture, slowly come all the way back, taking your left hand to the floor, keep your left leg raised. And then with both hands taking the weight of the upper body, float the right hand up towards the side of the head. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, elbow to knee to elbow. And the breathe in, lengthen, extend. Hold here, nice, slow, soft breaths. And the next breath out, slowly come all the way back, tabletop. Take your hips back towards your heels in downward dog. Stretch out through your back. And then come up into tabletop from here. Straighten out your right leg, tuck your right toes in. Rotate the right heel down and lean into your left hand, left knee as you take the right arm backwards, upwards, forwards. This big long stretch. Feeling the ground beneath your left hand. And if you want, maybe seeing if you've got a balance here. And hold and breathe here. This is already good. If you want, take a quad stretch. Maybe the balance is there and you can reach back, grab hold of a shin or an ankle and pull the heel close to your bottom. Feel those vasti muscles, those 4 vasti muscles stretching and the hip flexors stretching. And then coming all the way back. Lowering your right hand to the floor. Keep the right leg raised. Even pressure with both hands. Lift the left hand up into balancing cat, reaching forwards the fingers, back with the toes. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, elbow to knee to elbow. And breath in, lengthen, extend. And breath out, come back into tabletop. Tuck your toes in, lift into downward dog. Pedal through the legs here. Taking the feet out to the edges of the mat and the hands out to the edges of the mat. Wide legged, wide arm dog. And then lift your left foot off of the floor, about 4 or 5 inches, grounded down through the left hand. And if you've got the balance, lift the right hand off of the floor for a 2-legged dog, looking straight back down through or towards your back of your mat. And then come all the way back down. We go again on the other side. So the right leg lifts away from the mat. You ground down through your right hand, really good firm grip with your right hand on the mat as the left hand lifts off of the mat. And it doesn't matter if it's not there for you. It's just part of testing yourself, bringing the feet hip width apart. All hands to the back of the mat, bending the knees, coming to a supported squat, dropping the bum down. And then when you're in this position, gently rock from side to side. Just allowing the hips to soften a little bit and then push up into a bent knee forward bend. Let your arms slide up your legs, keeping your knees bent as you roll to a standing position. Roll the shoulders back, breath in, lift the hands up nice and high, and then slowly float the left foot up in front of you for standing start. I'm going to take a shorter stride forwards. So taking the heel to the floor, it lands on the floor. We're going to go for extended forward bend. So wrap the hands around the back, grab hold of forearms or wrists. Turn the right foot out to the side, square the hips. Take a breath in with the shoulders back. As you breathe forwards, nice, long through the upper back. Bring the body down towards that straight leg to find that tension in the back of your leg. Soften the kneecap and go as deep as you can with this posture. Really stretch those back legs, hamstrings, adductors, glutes. And then slowly back off a little bit. Bend the knee, taking your right hand to the floor so the fingertips on the floor with your knee bent. And if you could come into half moon, lift the back leg off of the floor. About hip height, flex the ankle, turn the toes away. Stay looking at the floor and then taking your right hand up. You can turn and look up at that hand if you've got the balance, the stability here. And then bring the hand into the back. And then slowly come to both feet together, hands onto your shins, half lift, fold forwards here, and then bend the knees and slowly roll up to mountain, rolling the shoulders back, inhale the hands up nice and high, ground down through your left foot, lifting the right foot away and standing start, coming up a little bit higher than waist height if you can, And then short stride as you take that right foot forwards. Take the hands around the back, turn the left foot out to the side. Both legs are straight. Square the body here. Breath in, shoulders back. Breath out, extended forward bend. Come forwards till you build up that stretch in the back of the leg and go a little bit further as you release the quadriceps, the kneecap. Feeling that stretch, feeling what's going on in the body. And breathing softly. And then slowly come out of that a little bit. Take both hands to the floor, fingertips on the floor, and float that left foot off of the floor about hip height. Turn the toes away, and with your right fingers pressing into the floor, take the left hand out and up, looking down at the floor, or turning, looking up at the hand, or turning, looking to the side for half moon. Hold and breathe. And then slowly bring both hands to the floor, floating that left foot to the back of the mat, and then step the right foot to the back of the mat in downward dog. Inhale through to plank. Exhale to the ground. So we're going to take a locust posture now. So take the hands down the side of the body. And then when you're ready, lift your legs away from the floor, lift your chest away from the floor, and really squeeze through your lower back, driving your hands down the side of the body until you feel that engagement of your lower back muscles. And stay here and breathe softly. There's always an opportunity to take bow pose in locust, where you reach back, grab hold of your ankles, your shins, and push back with your legs into your hands, your arms acting as bowstrings as you peel the chest and the shoulder blades come towards each other, peel the chest away from the floor even further. Release out of locust and bow. Push up and back into child. Big long stretch of your back here. Bringing the hands together and the palms come together. Bring the palms over the back of the head like a shark's fin. And stretch through your triceps. And release the floor. Come up onto your knees now. Cross your lower legs. Roll onto your back. Taking your right leg out nice and straight, and your left knee is bent with the sole of the left foot comes into the thigh. Turn the face over the right leg. Reach up with both hands and then tilt forwards out of your lower back as you drop the hands down towards the leg, and find some tension somewhere in the straight leg as you bring your chest, your chin forwards. And then slowly come up. From here, lean down onto your left side. Lift your right leg off the floor, bend the knee, bring the heel into your bottom so the sole of the left foot comes into your right thigh. Now we're going to walk the hands forwards to lower our chest down towards our left thigh, and then walk around to the left until you get a little bit of a pull. Reaching up with your right hand, lowering your chest down, a little bit of a pull down the lower part of your back. And come up out of that. And then slowly making your way around to the other side. So straighten out the left leg, sole of the right foot comes into the thigh, turn the face, the straight leg. Position yourself with your toes coming back, reach hands up nice and high, and tilt the whole of the upper back, upper body forwards until your hands will come down naturally somewhere on your leg, and bringing your chin, chest forwards to find some tension in your body, and nice, slow, steady breaths in this posture. This is really about release, trying to release any tensions in your body, any muscles that don't need to contract. Simply release, let go. And then slowly come out of that. As you come out of that, lay down on your right side so you can lift the left foot off the floor, bend the knee, bring the heel into the bottom so the sole of the foot rests into the thigh. Start to lean down onto your right thigh and walk around to the right as you lower your chest down, reaching up with your left hand into deer pose. Find that nice stretch around the lower back. Just go to the point where you find the tension and stay there and breathing that tension away with a few breaths. Okay, coming out of deer pose and then coming into a loose cross leg position. Soles of the feet come together, hands onto your ankles, and a little bit of movement up and down with your knees just to soften through the hips. And then slowly bring your feet to the floor, about 90 degrees angle in your knees. Squeeze your core muscles, reach the hands out in front of you, and slowly, as you breathe in here, as you breathe out, slowly come down, squeezing your core muscles until your feet become quite light. Take a breath in at the bottom and then squeeze your core muscles to come all the way back up again. Take a breath in at the top. As you breathe out, squeeze your core muscles and slowly roll down until your feet become quite light. Take a breath in at the bottom, squeeze your core muscles, come all the way back up again. And we go one more. So as you breathe out, slowly lowering down with control, and then take a breath in at the bottom and then slowly come back up. Good. And then slowly hands onto your knees, roll down onto your back. Squeeze your knees into your chest a couple of times just to decompress your spine. And we take a few yogi bites now. So straighten out your left leg, point the toes, bend your elbows, fingers behind ears. With your right knee bent, turn your left elbow towards your right knee. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, we change. So we straighten out our right leg, pull our left knee in, turn to the left, bringing our right elbow towards our left knee. Take a breath in here and then change. So we go on the breath out, we go nice and slowly. We take a nice breath in when we find this position, we're stopped. And as we want to go, we breathe out. So pull your tummy button as you breathe out and go. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, go. Pushing your lower back into the floor all the time, going as slow or slower as you can. The slower, the better. And even when you stop and you're static at the end of the movement, you're really working hard. Okay, and bring both knees to the chest, squeeze and release your knees. Take your head and shoulders on the floor. Keep hold of your knees. Bring your knees up into your chest. Take your arms out nice and wide. You're looking up at the ceiling. With the knees quite high, take a breath in. As you breathe out, send both knees down towards your left elbow till you end up rolling on your side, lying on your side. And then clamp your knees down with your left hand. Slowly turn your head towards the right to release your right arm, your right shoulder to the floor. And stay here in this twist. Breathe in as best you can. Turn and look up, let go of the knees, and then roll on your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Take a breath in as you breathe out. We roll to the other side, bring the knees down towards the right elbow. When the knees land on the floor, clamp them down with your right hand, and then slowly turn your head to the left to release your left shoulder to the floor and feel this twist. Turn and look up at the ceiling, let go of the knees. Roll on your back. Wrap hands around your knees, squeeze and release your knees. Okay, so you can stay here just holding your knees, or you can tuck your feet to the floor. You can take plow pose. So with plow pose, take the hands down to the floor with the knees lifted up into the chest. Push your hands into the floor to lift your bottom off the floor, and then catch your bottom with both hands, and then start to straighten out your legs. Make sure that the weight is coming into the shoulders, not into the back of the head, so you can freely lift and lower your head without any change to the posture. If there's no pressure in your neck, with your bum holding onto your legs, slowly release your legs with gravity towards you, making sure the shoulders carry the load. This is an inversion. This is a forward bend. It's really nice and passive for your body, not forcing it, not being concerned about where you're going with it, but just feel the body open up. We're realigning the spine, creating some space in the spine, in the spinal column, using gravity, lifting the heart just slightly above the head. So it changes the circulation, affects our nervous system. It's a really nice posture when it's tried without any sense of ego or competitiveness. Just simply release into it. And let's come out of a plow pose. You can bend your knees and then with your butt supported, slowly roll down your spine. And when your pelvis lands on the floor, again, wrap your hands around your knees, squeeze and release your knees. Drop your feet to the floor. head and shoulders on the floor. A couple of pelvic tilts here, pelvic rotations as you arch your lower back as you breathe in. As you breathe out, flatten your lower back, tucking your tailbone under. Softening through the discs, the vertebra of the lumbar spine. And heel toe the feet out to the edge of the mat. Take the arms away from the body and then windscreen wipe your legs. Just allow the hips to finish this session with some gentle movement. And once you get into this rhythm, you can turn your head in the opposite direction to your hips. And then come back to a stationary position. Slide your feet down to the bottom corners of the mat. Bring your hands closer to the mat. Lie here in Shavasana. Close your eyes. Taking a few soft breaths. And stay focused on what's happening in your body. Just feel the natural changes in your body now as you find the ground beneath you and you release your body into the ground. So let go of any clenching, any holding around your pelvis. Let go of any tension around your eyes, your jaw, the root of your tongue. Allow the arms to become heavy. Allow the shoulders to release and the legs to become heavy and the toes, the feet to flop out to the side. And you can stay here as long as you like. But I'm going to finish this video now. So thanks very much for taking a look. I hope you managed to get through it okay. Okay, 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes is ample to do pretty much everything you might need to do in your body for the day ahead or the day that's just happened, and finish it off with a nice bit of relaxation. Thanks very much.